Okay, so this is going to be 2.3. It's going to be called arithmetic sequences. All right, so arithmetic sequences is just a fancy name for patterns. Okay, so the first thing I want you to do is I want you to look at this and think about what's happening here. Watch the animation and just kind of follow what's happening. As you're watching this, jot down what you notice about each stack of blocks. Think about the number of blocks. So if you said that we're adding 3 blocks each time and we started with 4 blocks, then you were correct. So it's very important. Those two numbers are what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about how many we start with and how many we're adding each time or subtracting each time. Because arithmetic sequences is a pattern that you add the same number or you subtract the same number each time. All right, so how many bricks do you think we would have after 5 stacks? Well, if we start with 4, then we stack 3, 3, 3, 3, and 3. You'd have to count up all those blocks. So arithmetic sequences is going to give you a faster way of doing that. We would end up having 55 bricks. Or how many bricks will we have after 55 stacks? So if you had to add 3, add 3, add 3, add 3, 55 times, that's going to take a long time. And so there's a faster way of doing it, and we're going to use what's called arithmetic sequences. All right, so your goal today is going to be able to identify, which means find or recognize, and write, which means express an equation. So if you're writing down your student learning objective, it is, I can identify and write a formula for arithmetic sequences. Okay, so here we go. Remember, this is a video, so you can pause it, rewind it anytime you want. But for the purposes of the length of the video, I'm just going to keep going through, and you'll have to monitor that as you go. All right, so the difference between terms is called a common difference. When we added 3 blocks each time, that was a common difference of 3. We added 3. All right, so if you look at this sequence below, this is from the example of the Lego bricks we saw at the beginning. We started with 4, and then we added 3. Then 7 plus 3 is 10. And then 10 plus 3 is 13. 13 plus 3 is 16. And so we're adding 3 each time. Okay? So we would say our common difference is 3. Now, the sequence above is called an arithmetic sequence because the common difference is constant. It doesn't change. We didn't add 3 and then add 5 and then add 2 and then take away 8. We added 3 consistently every time. So we would say this is arithmetic. All right, so let's see if this is arithmetic or not. Do you think this pattern is arithmetic? Well, let's see. This time I added 3, and then I added 5, and then 7, and then 9. So is that arithmetic or not arithmetic? It is not arithmetic. It's not a consistent pattern. Okay, this time we added 4, added 4, added 4, added 4. Is this arithmetic? It is, because we have a common difference of 4. All right, now negatives are going to play a part. So -1, how did I get to -3? I subtracted 2. Then I subtracted 6 and 18 and 54. Is that arithmetic? It is not. It's not a common difference. So not arithmetic. All right. So your first goal is going to be able to identify the terms of the sequence. So what they're going to do is they're going to give you 4 terms. They'll give you a set of terms. This time they give you 4. And they're going to say, find the next 4. And so you can do that by just using the common difference. So the first thing I'm going to do is say, well, this was -6. 15 minus 6 is 9. And then if I go -6, that's 3. And then -6 would be -3. If I keep doing that and I go -6, what's the next number going to be? Remember, you can use your calculator. It's on every Chromebook. You hit the circle in the bottom left, hit the up arrow, and bring up your TI-84 calculator. And so you got -3 minus 6 is going to be -9. And then -6 is -15. -6 is -21. -6 is -27. And so you would fulfill that question by just using the common difference to find the next set of terms. All right, so what we just called is called a recursive definition. Now I'm going to show you how to do that in the calculator. And so if we look at what we did. I'm going to show you the keystrokes. And so what I did is I did 50. I'm going to, let's see, this is a video.
Okay, so remember the first thing that you want to do is clear the screen. So we're going to clear the RAM on our calculator. So I want you to hit second, which is the blue button, plus 712. And that's going to clear the RAM in your calculator, get everything off that. I want you to do that every day when you first get your calculator. And so now we're going to do our recursive process using the calculator. And so the first term was 15. So we're going to type in 15. And then we're going to use our common difference, which was minus 6. So we're going to take away 6 and hit enter. And that's going to give you the second term in your sequence. And then now we can just click minus 6. And what that does is it uses the previous answer and just subtracts 6 from it. And so then we get our third term in the sequence, which was 3. And at this point, we just have a pattern. It's actually a recursive pattern. And so we can just hit enter to find the fourth term that they gave us. To find the fifth term, we hit enter. It's subtracting 6 again. We get negative 9. And in the next term of the sequence, we hit enter. It's negative 15. And then we hit enter to do the common difference again to get the seventh term, negative 21. And then to find the eighth term, we hit enter again, and it takes minus 6 for common difference, and we get negative 27. And so you can see that you have negative 9, negative 15, negative 21, negative 27 as our next 4 terms in our sequence.
Okay, so you can use a calculator to figure that stuff out, right? All right, so now in arithmetic, sequences are written in function notation or they can be in recursive notation. So let me tell you the difference between those two. This is function notation. It tells you f of 1 equals 4. What this means is that the first term is 4. And then this is the actual function itself, the equation. The function of n is equal to whatever n was minus 1 plus 3. Now that's really like geeky math terms, and I'll explain to you what all you need to know. You need 2 things to be able to do this. You need the first term, and you need the common difference. This tells you that this is the first term. So the first term is 4. So we're going to start with 4. Then we're going to change by plus 3 every time. That's all it's telling you. All right? So now this is recursive definition. This is the other way they can show you. Once again, they're telling you the first term is 4. And then they're telling you the common difference is 3. These are the same things, just 2 different ways of writing it. They can ask you both. Remember, you're looking for 2 things, the first term and the difference. All right? Now, let's talk about function notation. So f of 1 represents that first term. I can build a table with this. Remember, it told me f of 1 is 4. And then it told me the common difference was 3. And so I can add 3, add 3, add 3 each time. All right? And so if I'm going to add 3 again, I would get, I'm just kind of showing you kind of how this works. F of 5 would be 5 minus 1, which is 4. So whatever 4 was, is 13, and we add 3, and we get 16. Okay? And then it just keeps going. Now, you don't need all of that. All you need to be able to do is find the common difference, know where you start, find the common difference, and you'll be able to fill up as many as you need. All right, so deciphering question, this is how they'll ask you. They'll give you a table, and they'll say which of the following represents the sequence. All right, so what important things do we see in this table? Well, we see that the first term is 12. So the first thing I can do is go over here to where they're telling me what my first term is, and I can eliminate things I know are not right. So this says the first term is 4, and that is not accurate. This says the first term is 8, and that is not accurate. So I can end up getting rid of those. Now, the common difference is 8. Now, remember, I know my answer is either B or D because the first term is 12. Which one of these has a common difference of 8? Well, they both do. But remember, in the recursive process, you should have a minus here, not a plus. If you have a plus here, it's automatically wrong. So the correct answer is going to be B. It has the right format where we're looking at the previous term, our common difference is 8, and we're starting at 12. So you can just eliminate those questions by using those 2 items. All right, now you can write a formula for the nth term also by using the TI-84 calculator or Desmos. I'm going to show you both. This is going to take a minute because I don't know which one you're using, and you need to use both depending on which ones that you have. And so we're going to start with the TI-84. And so remember, the TI-84 is on every one of the district Chromebooks. You could also add it as an extension through TI, Texas Instruments website. And I have all those instructions in my course tools toolbox. All right, so this says find the sixth term of the sequence. And this starts out the sequence as 4, 7, 10, 13. They want to know what the sixth one is going to be. So we know 5 and 6. And so we're going to press, what we're going to do is press stat. And then we're going to press number 1, the edit. And on this, you're going to want to have your calculator up or in your hand if you have one. And then you're going to want to be pausing this video doing these steps. All right, so you did stat edit. And then under this, L1 is the table. So you got L1, L2. Under L1, I'm going to list these first 4 terms. So I have terms 1, 2, 3, and 4. The first 4 places, the first 4 terms. And those terms are 4, 7, 10, and 13. So you should enter 1, 4, 2, 7, 3, 10, 4, 13. All right, now, then you press stat again. Then you go press the right arrow key because we want to get to this calculate menu. Then you're going to press number 4. That's a linear regression. You see number 4 right here. It's a linear regression. We're doing linear equations. So that's why you're choosing that one. And then you're just going to press enter 3 times. And you press the VARS key, the right arrow key, and then enter 4 times. When you're done, it's going to give you this format of an equation, and it's going to tell you what A and B needs to be. Now, you've seen this before. This is y equals mx plus b. It's telling you what the m is, telling you what the b is. In the calculator, it uses a, but it's the same thing. This is your slope. This is your y-intercept. And so you put 3 where a is and 1 where b is, and you got your equation, okay? And so we end up getting y equals 3x plus 1 as my equation. Now, I can take that and I can plug it into my calculator. I hit y equals, I type in 3x plus 1, and then I'm going to hit second graph, and that's going to take me to my table. Now, what is my 6th term? It's going to be 19, right? 6th term is 19. So if you want to pause the video and try this, you can. It's the same thing. I have all the calculator steps listed right here that you need to do. So what I would do is I would pause this video, and I would do that in my calculator over and over and over and over again until I got it down, because you're going to be doing this a lot. Okay, I'm going to refer to this as stat edit in the future. All right, now if you're using a Desmos calculator, you can use it also. Everybody has access to the Desmos calculator because it's online, and I have several links throughout my Canvas page. So make sure you have Desmos up, and this is what you do. You're going to click the plus to add a table. See the table right there? After you add the table, you're going to enter in, just like you did before, 1, 2, 3, 4. These are the term numbers, and then these are the terms, 4, 7, 10, and 13. Once you do that, then you have to enter this little formatted question. You're going to hit Y and then 1. It will automatically put the 1 as a subscript down there. So Y1, then you're going to hit the tilde button. If you're on a Chromebook or a computer, it's on the left side, and it's up underneath the escape key. That's your tilde button. You're probably going to have to hit shift in that. And then you're going to do mx1 plus b. You enter that in, and it automatically gives you all this information. All right? Now, I want you to notice what it gave you down here at the bottom. It told you the slope is 3 and the y-intercept's 1. And so now you can build that equation, y equals 3x plus 1. When you go back into Desmos and you plug that equation in, it's going to graph it for you. And then all you have to do is hit Settings, Table, and it builds you a table of that equation. And so now you go down and you see I have 6 and 19. So I don't care which one that you use. You need to be able to determine arithmetic sequences. Now, I know 6 would be a really easy one. Let me go back to this and show you. I know 6 is going to be super, super easy, right? Because you could just say, well, I'm just going to go plus 3, plus 3. But what if I told you I wanted number 99? You don't want to have to go plus 3, plus 3, plus 3, plus 3, plus 3 99 times, okay? And so that's why you need this. They're going to be asking you these very arbitrary big numbers out there because they want you to do this process. So you need to know how to do it in the calculator and on Desmos. StarTest, you'll end up using the calculator, but Desmos is way easier. And there is a chance that we will be using Desmos also on StarTest. So just make sure you have this down. Remember that I have tutorials from 4 to 4:30 that you can come in and get help. Also, make sure that you are completing your STAR checkout and your ticket out the door. Those are key. They're very important that you complete those. All right. And then you should have taken your quiz at the start of class. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. I'm glad to help. All right. You guys have a great day.